Hello and welcome to class number 5. This week we're going to be talking about how to choose healthier cuts of beef and pork, as well as what constitutes an appropriate portion size for lean meat. According to the American Heart Association, beef and pork can be part of a heart-healthy diet as they are good sources of protein, iron, zinc, and B vitamins, especially vitamin B12, a nutrient that can only be found in animal products. These are nutrients that keep our muscles strong and prevent us from feeling tired or weak due to low iron in the blood. It is important, though, that we pay attention to choosing leaner cuts, controlling portion size, and limiting daily intake of saturated fat. How do you know which are the leanest cuts of beef and pork? The lowest ones in fat are going to be labeled loin or round. Also, choose choice or select grades rather than prime. And make sure that you trim excess fat before you cook your meat. When it comes to hamburger or meatloaf, look for 95% extra lean ground beef. If you have to buy lower than 90% lean, you can remove some of the extra fat, and Raphael is going to demonstrate how to do this in the cooking video. With regard to portion size, a 3-ounce cooked portion is a healthy amount. This is similar to the size of the palm of your hand or a deck of cards. And remember, half of your plate should be filled with vegetables and a quarter of your plate lean meat, not the other way around. Beef and pork sometimes get a bad rap because they are high in saturated fat, the kind that can raise cholesterol. And the American Heart Association has recommended that we limit saturated fat to no more than 5 to 6% of total daily calories. The type of cuts that we've talked about are lower in saturated fat, and some lean cuts of pork are actually lower in saturated fat than beef. A cooking tip for making the most of lean meat is to marinate it for flavor and tenderness, meaning to soak it in a wet seasoned sauce before cooking. Make sure, though, that you throw out the marinade when the meat is done soaking because it's not safe to use it with raw meat juices in it. Our budget tip for this week is to look for the least expensive healthy cuts that you can find. And here's a list: beef sirloin, lean ground beef, flat iron steak, and bone-in pork loin chops. When more expensive healthy cuts like beef tenderloin and pork tenderloin go on sale, stock up and put them in your freezer. They'll last there for up to 4 months. As with poultry, though, make sure that you're thawing them in the refrigerator overnight, not out on the countertop, which can put you at risk for foodborne illness. The best weapon against foodborne illness is your instant read thermometer. You want to use that with all meat, poultry, and fish towards the end of the cooking time, in the deepest part of the meat away from the bone. And here are some internal temperatures that you want to aim for. Steaks and roasts, medium rare, 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Steaks and roasts, medium, 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Pork, 145 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a new guideline from the USDA. And ground beef, ground pork, ground lamb, and ground veal, 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Always make sure that you wash your thermometer between uses. I hope this nutrition segment has been helpful, and now it's time to get cooking with class number 5.